Before we begin, I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land and pay my respect to elders past and present. Hi everyone, good morning and thank you for joining us today. I'm Abhilash and I'm joined by Raman. For the next 30 minutes, we are going to focus on how to make AI actually work for your organization. Today, we have structured this session with 5 real-time scenarios that we've seen across most of the Australian New Zealand organization that we worked with in the recent past. Not just scenarios, we also have some of the real-time practical approaches which we will be sharing with you. This is also an interactive session, so feel free to drop in your thoughts and questions there in the chat. So let's get started. Just a quick introduction about BeyondKey. We are a global technology consulting organization focused on data, AI, analytics, and digital transformation. We work with organizations across Australia and New Zealand to help modernize data ecosystem, unlock the insights, and also to accelerate AI adoption. Our focus is always on driving measurable business outcome. So we have been there in the business for last 20 years, having offices across the globe where the APAC headquarters is based in Sydney, and we are partnered with Microsoft, Snowflake, Databricks, and Microsoft Fabric as well. So as we get into the session today, before we get into the scenario, as I mentioned, I want to anchor everyone to a simple framework. We call it as the AI readiness ladder. So if you look at, there are multiple levels. If you look at the level 1, it is like data siloed, where there are no proper documentation data across the organization. And if you look at level 2, it's more of governance, but still there is AI getting struggled with the level 2. If you look at level 3, data is integrated, but again analytics is still at the scaling phase. And if you look at level 4, AI is ready and there are some governance in practice. I'm sure most of the attendees today who joined either might be at level 1, level 2, or any of these levels. So what we are going to do for the next few 30 minutes is that we will certainly help you to get most out of this 30 minutes to ensure that how you can level up from each level, which what we have seen from the clients whom we worked with. So today's session is all about moving up the ladder. So let's begin with some of the facts what we see around the market. If you look at, there are various research organizations and the data that is already available, as you all might have read. There are various facts that AI investments are not giving the proper ROI as expected. Many AI projects are likely getting failed without proper data being organized behind them. The reason is as simple as that AI is as good as how we feed data in it. Organizations are nowadays trying to build data foundation that fails because of having proper data foundation. So today's section we will completely make it in such way that how to fix the foundation before you think about the AI, how to fix the data foundation. So let's begin. As I mentioned, there are 5 scenarios based on the responses what we receive from the audience, where each of you might be at any of the scenarios. First scenario is where the organization are at 0 to 1, moving on to the AI layer. So let's go one by one. Let's start with the first scenario. So Raman, just for our audience perspective, if an organization has no data foundation and they are starting from spreadsheet, there are multiple applications, various departments across the organization. What is your recommendation that based on our client experience and the recent past projects, how do you recommend our audience to start with if they need to start from 0 to 1 when it comes to data?
Yeah, hey, thanks Abhilash, and good morning, good afternoon, everyone. So basically, this slide explains the current analytic challenges and the practical roadmap to move from manual reporting to AI-enabled decision making. The key message is we do not need to spend 12 months of time building a proper production grade data platform. Instead, we can start small and then one business problem at a time and build the foundation step by step. So the common challenge today in today's world is most of the organizations are still depend heavily on the Excel and Excel based reportings. So reports are created manually and data sits in different departments. And there is no single centralized source of truth. So in those scenarios, this creates multiple issues, like teams spend too much time in preparing the reports instead of analyzing them. Then different departments may show different numbers for the same KPIs. Governance become difficult and leadership does not get clear visibility into the most important business metrics. So the challenge is not only technology challenge, it's a process, governance and decision making challenge too. So now the maturity roadmap. To solve this, first we have to go ahead with data collection. This is identifying the data, where the data is exists and currently how it is captured. Then the data integration part. It is bringing important data sources together so that business can access the consistent information. Once the data is integrated, we move to dashboard and reporting. So where leadership can monitor KPIs in a structured way. After that, we can introduce predictive analytics, AI and automation. So it includes agentic AI too. So so the recommended approach is not building everything at once, but to build it in an incremental fashion. We begin with focused business use case, deliver a meaningful dashboard in or quickly insights, show insights quickly, and then mature towards predictive analytics and AI automation. This way, organizations get business value early while building a strong and scalable data foundation for the future.
Excellent. Thank you, Raman. I hope audience for sure will have a lot of questions, but you try to cover up no from a high level. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Now, the second scenario, what we have received from most of our audience is that they have done with 0 to 1 level. Now, the second level for any organization in today's world is which data tool to select. All right. So, few of our clients might have started with any of the data tools available, either MS Fabric or Databricks or Snowflake. So how to ensure that they are picking the right tool, and also if someone is on tool A, how to make sure that they don't miss anything that is coming up as an upgrades or update when it comes to the other tool. So can you share some lights on how to choose the right tool and how to scale it up as the organization grows?
Sure.
Yes, sir.
In this slide, we have taken three of the most popular cloud platforms: Microsoft Fabric, Databricks, and Snowflake. The intention of this slide is not to compare the best among the three, but to take the correct platform for different business use case, which fits the best. So now, suppose the organization is mostly focused on the Microsoft ecosystem, and their ultimate goal is to create enterprise level reporting and Power BI. So then definitely we can go ahead with Microsoft Fabric. If the organization is totally AI focused and data engineering heavy. So at that point of time, we should always go ahead with Databricks. And if the organization is mostly towards the SQL-based analytics and data warehousing, then we should select Snowflake. So it's not that uh, we cannot work with all the tools. There is another hybrid option also where we can take only the best part of each tool and work together to use those services and you work together.
Interesting. Thank you for sharing that input. So the tool is all about the infra, what they are working with, and also the current application. So thanks for sharing this. I hope our audience might have got some idea about the tools, and even if they have more questions, feel free to share it there in the chat, or even our team will certainly get back to you if you have some specific scenario based, or if you have some specific question with respect to the tool. So Raman, also some of the audience had asked for some of scenarios where they want to actually know how we implemented to any of our clients. So if you could share some insight based on how as a use case we implemented to one of our client, that would be really helpful for our audience.
Great. This slide basically dedicated to one of our leading AU manufacturer client. So we have been working with them for past 3 years. So they first when they came to us, it's like they wanted to enable data-driven decision making. So this is across organization they wanted to make it. So the leadership and the business teams can make decisions based on trusted data rather than manual reports. Then they wanted to improve their operational efficiency through automation. The third, they wanted some AI and machine learning based models where they wanted to do demand forecasting, then production planning, inventory management, and working capital optimization. So the current, when they came to us, their major challenge is that the data was very fragmented, and we're sitting in different systems like SAP, ERT, IoT, and different SQL servers. So this created a disconnected reporting, duplication of effort, and limited visibility across the business. So another challenge they came up with is dependency on manual and time-intensive processes, so which increases their reporting delays and then introduce high risk of errors. To solve this, we proposed a solution, and then what we did is like we created a unified modern data platform. So we have selected Databricks because they were data engineering heavy. They have a lot of data, and their ultimate goal was to create a very high, advanced level of AI solution. So we took the data from SAP, ERP, IoT, SQL servers, and other databases and ingested through Azure Data Factory and Azure Data Lake Storage. From there, the autoloader brought the data to Databricks, where we structured the data into a medallion architecture. So the medallions are like the bronze, silver, gold, and platinum. The bronze layer stores the data that is there in the source, that is the raw data. The silver layer cleans it and standardizes it. Gold layer are the one which contains the business ready data, and the platinum layer supports the advanced analytics and high value business use cases. So Databricks also provides the capability for unified data processing, governance, data quality management, security, and compliance. Finally, the curated data is consumed through Power BI reports, business reports, and the AI models. So in summary, the migration is not just a technology upgrade, it is a business transformation initiatives, and which connects the operational systems, centralizes the data, improves the governance, enables real-time reporting, and creates a foundation for machine learning and advanced AI-based solutions.
Perfect. Thank you, Raman, for sharing a real-time scenario with our audience. Now, moving on, what we have seen from our audience, few of the questions what we received was, how should an organization approach AI? Now, I got all the no the data getting organized. I have right tool there in place. Now I need to approach to my AI journey. How should I start, and what all points I need to keep in mind before I get into the AI strategy? So what are your recommendations? If you could share with our audience, that would be great.
Yeah, sure. So the prerequisite or the requisite is to move the AI pilots beyond experimentation and scale them up across the business. The key message is simple. So AI scaling is not all about building different models, but it requires trusted data governance, scalable architecture, and business adoption. So before starting the AI initiatives, we need few fundamentals always in the place. Like the first is the trusted data. So if the underlying data is incomplete, inconsistent, and not governed, then AI output will not be a reliable one. Second is the governance. We need clear ownership, security, compliance, and responsible AI practices. The third is the scalable architecture. Like the solution should not build on one-time pilot, but it should be reusable and expandable. The fourth is the business adoption and operational integration. AI should fit into real business workflows. Otherwise, it remains a demo and does not create value. So that is why we say AI scaling equals data plus governance plus architecture plus business adoption. So to achieve this, we have a framework, and we have different phases. So the first phase is to establish the trusted data. So this means cleaning and governing the data, securing the environment, and creating standardized pipelines. The second one is prioritizing high impact use cases, where we should not start with too many AI ideas at once. We should focus on use cases that are clearly solve the business problems, such as manual process automation, then predictive analytics, intelligent data processing, document processing, AI co-pilots, forecastings. Then phase 3 will be building reusable AI architecture. On the first use case, once the first use case is identified, we should build shared AI services, reusable pipelines, centralized governance, API-driven integrations, and scalable cloud infrastructure. The fourth phase is focusing on adoption and governance. So this includes responsible AI, explainability, human validation checkpoints, security, compliance, user training, and change management. So the recommendation is to avoid treating AI as isolated experiments, but we should begin with trusted data, select high-value use cases, build reusable architecture, and ensure governance and business adoption from the beginning. This approach helps organization move from AI pilots to capable and scalable production-ready AI solutions that deliver measurable, business impact.
Perfect. Thank you. We are getting a couple of questions as well. Certainly, we will try to answer most of the questions during the Q&A. Moving on, Raman, few of the audience also mentioned about ROI, because before they start thinking about investment, or already those who have made some investment, how to look at the metrics on how to ensure that how long it will take, or what, and how to calculate the ROI metrics when it comes to AI as well as data investment. So if you can share some lights on that. Our audience had already mentioned about ROI part, please.
Sure, sure. Yeah, right. So the AI and data investments should not be treated as technology experiments. So many organizations spends money on dashboards, platforms, AI tools, and automations, but later struggle to prove what business value was actually created. So the shift we are recommending is from technology first approach to an ROI first approach. So in many cases, team uh, starts by asking like which platform should we buy, then which AI tool should we implement, which dashboard should we build. But the better question should be what business problem are we solving, and how will we measure the success. For example, a dashboard is only valuable if someone makes a faster and better decision. An AI model is only valuable if it reduces effort, improves accuracy, lowers the cost, and increases the revenue. Without that link to business value, the initiative may look successful in technically, but fail commercially. This is why the strategy here starts with business KPIs. And before building anything, we define the outcome in measurable terms. That gives a project a clear target, and it also helps business and technology teams stay aligned because everyone understands what success looks like. Once that is clear, the focus moves towards outcome rather than outputs. So the goal is not just to deliver a dashboard, a data pipeline, or an AI model. The goal is to improve the business process, reduce delay, increase visibility, and support better decisions. So the final point is continuous measurement. ROI should not be checked only at the end of the project, but we should track whether users are actually using that solution, whether practically productivity is improving or not, whether operational savings are visible or not, or whether the platform is being utilized effectively or not. This helps avoid common situation where solution is technically delivered but not adopted by the business. So overall, this slide is saying a successful AI and data governed programs are not just about investment, they are disciplined executions. Start with measurable business values, delivering phases, validate the adoptions, and continuously optimize it. That is how we move from isolated technology initiatives to scalable business impact.
Interesting. Now comes the final scenario that we have everything in place. Now, as we need to look at a long-term goal, right? How I need to ensure that what I'm building today is ready for the future proof or future architecture as well. So what all the metrics or what are all the areas as an organization or a data leader which that anyone need to keep in mind when they look at future data architecture?
Right, right. So when we say future proof, we mean that platform should be able to grow with the business. Today the need may be dashboard and reporting, but tomorrow it could be predictive analytics or AI copilots or real-time decision making or agentic workflows. So the architecture should not be the architecture should not require a full rebuild every time the business requirement changes. So the first principle is scalability. As data volume grows, users increases, and new systems are added. So platforms should handle the growth without becoming slow. The second principle is lakehouse-based approach, where instead of keeping the data scattered across multiple tools, we created a unified foundation where structured and unstructured data can be managed together. The third principle is modular design. So we should not build tightly coupled systems. So when one breaks, so it takes everything with it. So instead, it should be a API driven and then reusable components, which make the solution easier to extend, integrate, and maintain over time. Governance is also critical as more data and AI use cases are introduced. Security, access control, lineage, then compliance, metadata management becomes non-negotiable. So finally, the architecture must be AI ready. That means it should support modern AI patterns like RAG, vector databases, AI model integrations, and eventually, agentic workflows. So the key takeaway is future-proof architecture is not about choosing one tool. It is about creating a scalable, governed, modular, and AI foundation that can support today's need as well as tomorrow's innovation.
Got it. Thank you for sharing it. We got a few more minutes. Raman, we spoke about medallion architecture for our audience.
Right.
If we can give a quick overview of how does the medallion architecture look like and how they should plan their data architecture when they look at within their own business.
Right. So as I have already discussed in our case study where we have implemented the medallion architecture, so this slide is also tells us the same. This architecture is the architecture which every organization should have. So this slide shows an end-to-end data and AI architecture, starting from business data sources and ending with reporting, forecasting, and advanced analytics. So on the left, we have different data sources which are being ingested through pipelines and data flows, and then they were brought to different layers, which we call the medals, like the bronze, silver, and gold. The bronze layer, it contains the raw and staging data. The silver layer is the data transformation, where we have clean data, transformed data, and standardized data. The gold is the aggregated business logic, which is like business ready data. And on the right side, this data has been consumed. The gold layer has been consumed for different reports, Power BI reports, as well as AI/ML solution. So this architecture does not only support dashboards, but it can create scalable foundation where organization can move from basic reporting to advanced analytics and AI-driven decision makings.
Got it. Thank you, Raman. And audience might have a lot of questions, I'm sure, with the scenarios what we discussed. I just want to share one quick overview from this slide is if at all you're working with your existing tech partner, please ensure that when it comes to data foundation and even when it comes to the governance, after building the AI, thinking about governance, how to ensure that while building itself you are governance friendly, be it any industry you are currently with. And also how to ensure that the semantic and analytics part is also in sync, that is AI enabled as well. So as an enterprise AI readiness journey, how to ensure that the core fundamentals are strong. So we work with our client to ensure that these core pillars are strong. And even I request whomever you work with, or if you need any support on these areas, feel free to reach out to us, or even you can check with your existing partner to ensure that how they are supporting you with respect to these core pillars. Now that said, we have more questions received. Let's take one question for today's session and then we can wind up the webinar. The question is from Anita. So Raman, the question is how long it will take for me to build my journey from level 1 to level 4, and what is the investment that I need to keep in mind as I'm into a small and medium business?
Okay, right. So as I've already said, we should not build everything at once. Like we should not jump from level 0 to level 4. So we have to go step by step in an incremental way. So first we should focus on an MVP, which takes one department, few key data sources, and then measurable KPIs, and that can be achieved in few weeks. So that will make that will make the budget also a bit lean, because we have to only focus on the one MVP, right? And that can be completed in few weeks. Plus, this will value add for at least one business problem that they have.
Perfect. Thank you, Raman. And for the audience, no, we request whoever want to have a quick book a demo. You can scan the QR code. As part of this session, we are giving a complimentary assessment to few of the first 10 audience who are booking a complimentary demo session with us. And also thank you for joining with us today. Looking forward for the upcoming webinars, and we'll be sharing the recording of the webinar, and our team will reach out to you. If you have any questions, any queries specific to your organization, feel free to get in touch with us. Thank you for your time and have a good day.